And good morning, everyone. We already have quite a few people in the chat. Let's do some clapping for the stream. Hello, good morning. Yep, Walter, 2 streams today. This is going to be a big Sunday for YouTube. Ben, Hawk3D Pro, you're here. Yes, this is a pulse from MatterHackers. Everything's going well. 3D Medic Vents is here. 3D Printing Trucker is here. David Olson. Never Let the Machine Win. That is Mike. Marcus is here. I just talked to him yesterday. Mike Wiley's here. Hello. George Peoples is here. Alan is here. Time for sleep. I'm sorry, Alan. I should have had just a little bit more probably, but that's okay. 3D printers take precedence over sleeping. And John, Trolling for Dollars, is here. And John, I'm glad to see you here. John was nice enough to send me some filament the other day, and it was much appreciated. Thank you very much, John. And I Make Thingies is here. So, hopefully everything on the stream is working well. I guess I should have checked that before I, told everyone good morning. Derek Matthews is here. Hello. How is everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. Fernando Pina is here. And Fernando, I am avidly working on our Duplicator 3 problem, so I might have some answers for you by the end of today even. So we'll see if we can make that work. Getting a little tired of Prusa clones? Never! Now, everyone has its own flavor, right? It's a good platform. Hey, what can you do? They print well most of the time. Well, most of them have the possibility of printing well at some time. Let's use that. He was only counting at 112p's. James, it's that Canadian transfer. I don't even know what we're streaming at today. We were at 120. That's a good question though, James. But then I think we jumped to 1080p at some time, but I have 2 different profiles, which 1080 and 720 at my setup really doesn't look that much different anyway. Sound out of sync. Marcus is here. Is sound out of sync for everyone? We might have to adjust something. Walter or James, let me know if everything is kosher before we open this. Modbot is here. Daniel, welcome. I got this from MatterHackers. Audio fine, sound okay, good. Okay, so let's open this thing up. So before we open it up, 65 inches. All right, excellent. Thank you. So this is a MatterHackers Pulse. Okay, and the Pulse has been around a little while, I believe. It's assembled by MatterHackers, fully functional for you. When you order them, you can do a bunch of custom options. So you can do like a Pulse XE that comes with a dryer for carbon fiber filament. Excuse me. This one is just a regular Pulse. So it is the lowest cost option. It's right at $800. They do ship it for free, but it's fully supported and fully assembled, ready to go by MatterHackers. So you're going to pay a little extra for that. Now, it has a few parts on it that the Prusa would have better. Like this version comes with a V6 light, so it's got a Teflon tube. It has a BL Touch like sensor. I'm not exactly sure who makes that sensor. It has, so it's got all the calibration and things like that, but the build surface is adjustable. I'm pretty sure. So there's going to be a little different things, but it is right up there in the price range of an MK3, right? So why wouldn't I just buy an MK3? Well, the whole point of this is to check out different things. What is this one like compared to a Prusa printer or you know, a Lulzbot or whatever we might be working on that day. So this one was purchased with my own funds from MatterHackers, and we are going to give it a go and see what it's like. So let's take a look. Motorhead Mitch is here. Hello. Paul Cumber is here. So let's see if we can get this thing open and out of the box while still on the table. Painting? No, I hate painting. I hate painting. How long have I had it? Daniel, that's a great question. I have had this printer since July 24th. So I've had it a minute or two. Let's do one of these, right? So you can see what's in the box. We have a getting started guide. Ooh, I got an X-Acto knife. Got a huge pulse sticker. That's cool. I would love to have one of your stickers, Ben. Yes, I know. There are a few more over there that I actually got before this one, but I wanted to do this one. I just don't have enough streams to do this, unfortunately. What's the build size? Paul, I am not exactly sure. We will look at all of that stuff. Yeah, Matt, another printer. Commenting on my streams. Yeah, Ben, I will send you an email. I'd love to have one. I'll add it to my collection. So, power cable, USB cable. We got some filament. Did we get a whole roll? We did. We got a full kilogram roll of black PLA. Cool. This looks to be a giant power brick with a pen type connector. I don't know if you can see that or not. That's interesting. And it's just kind of sitting in there. It's got a little fill on the build plate. That's funny. Man, it is allergy season. I'm choked up. Yeah, there's a little, so thank you, George Peoples and Modbot. Just send a couple to Tom at the 3D Printing Llama. Yes, this one was purchased by me. Oh no! And I see a very large problem right out of the box. There's a printed part that holds the Z bracket, and it's broken. Oh no! I'm sure it was a shipping error, but that stinks. That stinks. At least it's printed, I guess. So let's see, what can we do? Well, and unfortunately, it reverse. There's an inductive sensor that tells you where the top is, and it hits on a bolt that's on that broken part. Broken already. Yeah. Sorry, Daniel. That sucks. Well, let's continue on as far as we can. Maybe we could, maybe I could hold it so it levels, and then we could get a printout. Let's cut some, well, should we take a look at the Get Started guide? There's lots of nice pictures in here. Welcome to the family. Thank you, Pulse. Remove red zip ties. We can do that. Super glue. We might have to do that in a pinch. It's not broke clean through, but it is definitely on its last leg. Yeah, I'll send MatterHackers a note and they'll get me another part. I can print another one too. It's not that big a deal. Hopefully that's all though. Hopefully that's all that shipping did to us. Yeah, short stream. No, we're gonna make it work. We'll get it out somehow. Duct tape. All right. Connect power supply. They want you to plug in the USB cable, clear the bed, gotta remove, install matter control. Now, Matter control is necessary for things like power off recovery. So you would have to be tethered to do some of the features that Matter control offers. I'm not really interested in that. I mean, I'll probably play with it. But this one doesn't have, and I thought the stock printer did. I thought maybe that's a paid for option. This printer does not have LCD. And I thought maybe I read it incorrectly, but there is no LCD screen, so standalone printing is not possible. Is that correct? That's a bummer if it is. So they want you to use Matter control no matter what. Yeah, I don't have a 3D printing pen. You'd think I would have one, right? 15 hours later. LCD is an upgrade. Yeah, I wish I would have known that. I would have thrown in the, because I think they show it in the picture. But nevertheless, I probably read it wrong when I was ordering it or whatever. That doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have an LCD because in my world, how I use this stuff, I mean, I could use it with Octoprint, but LCD is going to be something I have to use. Sierra is here. Hello, how are you? Yeah, this is a definite modding platform. I think you could pretty much do anything you wanted on this guy. Okay, cool. I'll have to get one. Okay, so they definitely want you to use Matter control here to set offsets and things like that. So I guess since I can't do that on the fly, why not go ahead and use Matter control? So I'll download that. Okay. We can do that. Since we've hit a few stumbling blocks, we will just, so 2.0 is beta, but I'm not afraid of beta. We'll just go through the directions and do what it says. That's okay. Use your third eye to control Matter. Nice. Yeah, I've tried Matter control, in the past, but it's been a while. I don't believe there's any Wi-Fi on this guy. Yeah, Colin, that's kind of what I wanted to see, MatterHackers is a good company. They sponsor a lot of these events. You talk to them online. Prusa is a fabulous company as well. So I wanted to see, what MatterHackers i3 offering was like compared to that other machine. So it's going to be interesting. Serial port drivers, install. It's working on it. Cloud printer profiles. Oh, I can sign into with my MatterHackers account, and my printer will already be there, it says. That's interesting. Let's see if that happens. You want to see my screen? I don't think I even have a main screen thing. Sign in. Don't remind me. Sign in. Okay. And of course I don't know what my password is. Excellent. Yeah, and it took me right to the build plate. So yes, Pulse C11 something something something. So I'm guessing it already knows about it. Okay, good deal. Now, Colin, I am sure that the folks at MatterHackers respect your opinion. Not Wi-Fi. I need to catch up to be able to follow you there, Colin. Yeah, and Daniel, that's a good point. I mean, you have to go at the fully assembled level, right? I mean, we're not working with a kit here, and that's exactly what I wanted to see. You know, that's why I bought one. It's not because I really need another i3, right? Okay, let's cut some zip ties off. I think I was supposed to do that before. Oh, I was supposed to clear bed. I was supposed to take fill off. Cool. Now, it'd have been really cool if they would have given me the clippers to cut the zip ties. Ron, the Happy Extruder is here. Hello, Ron. Yeah, shipping to the UK might be a little high. They zip tied all of the brackets and everything, the round rods to the threaded rods to keep them from moving around. So that's good. It's a lot the same as a Prusa though. I mean, it's got 3D printed legs and all that good stuff. Brian Vines is here. Brian with a Y. Hello. You know, because I know exactly what you're talking about, Ben. Stun'em Vape. Like, hello from Thailand. Excellent. Thanks for joining. Ron Floyd. Hello. How are you this morning? So I think that's all my zip ties. Let's get Phil off of there. Phil seems to be a very nice quality print. He's looking good. That won't focus at all, but trust me, he looks good. In fact, he'll go on my benchy shelf. Right in front of my Starman. They have like a fully giant 3D printed spool holder over here. It's got some serious plastic in it. Okay, setup wizard, we're done. Detect the printer. We probably ought to plug it in first. Barely awake. Man, I kind of feel the same way. That is one thing, Daniel, I have to say. This thing showed up quick. I ordered it, and they had it out next day, and I think it showed up like 2 days later. It was ready to go. And the nylon in the dry box and everything, that would be cool. But it's not really in my realm, right? I mean, it's not, I'm more about hardware tests than I am, you know, making functional awesome printed parts like a lot of others are. So I figured the base level would be the most interesting, just to see what you get, right? It is a fully assembled 3D printer, and it came from California, so we'll see. We shall see. Really cool. He modeled that fill. That's awesome. I've printed a few of those in my day. You type too much and you're getting throttled? It's pretty close to like an MK2 style frame. Trapeze screws and they're through the motor without couplers and things like that. It's pretty close. I do see another issue though. Man, it must have got jarred really hard because this smooth rod is completely out of the holder. That will not work. We're gonna have to have an adjustment here. It is Walter. This afternoon or this evening. It will be on Walter's channel. Yep. Okay. So what should I do first? Try to do some repairs? Well, I think probing is next. So, well, let's see if it detects the printer. Let's turn it on. Let's make sure it turns on. We're not having good luck so far. The power brick does have a light on it. Well, now how do I know it turned on? What kind of board is this? It kind of looks like a mini Rambo, but there's okay, so it flashed once, so I'm guessing it's on. But there's a lot of wires in the way, so it's really hard to tell. Mini Rambo, excellent. Yeah, Beetle Touch is flashing, that's a good sign. Yeah, it took a really hard hit. At least one. Not cool. Okay, connect. Disconnect and hit continue. Connect the printer and power on. Hopefully that's not messing up all my cameras. Hit connect, attempting to connect. Congratulations, I'm connected. Probe calibration overview. Okay, before we do any of that, we're gonna have to make some patches here. Let's see, what do we want to do? So I gotta get this one back in its seat. So that shouldn't be too hard. Okay. Now this guy, it feels like it's in its seat, but if I flex up on that any at all, it's gonna snap right off. So I think during the probing, I'm gonna have to just hold this here. I'm just gonna have to wing it. Maybe that'll work. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but it's broken like right here at the corner, so it's kind of down, hanging down a little bit. So I think I'm gonna have to just hold it there and see what we can do. Duct tape, yeah. Well, I don't want to break it completely off. I would have to like actually fold it down a little bit to even get any glue in there. Because I'll print another part. I mean, that's no big deal, but I don't want to print it right now. I probably missed a ton of chat. That's what 3D printer pins are for. Tim, I guess I got to get one now, huh? Maybe somebody will send me one. Awesome. Thanks. Appreciate that. Appreciate the stream checks. I like that. Okay, let's see what calibration looks like. Okay. Welcome to the Probe Calibration Wizard. We're going to home the printer. Should be done in less than 5 minutes. Okay, so let's hit next. Pro Series PLA. What is this? This is Pro Series PLA, so we'll go with that. Well, there's going to be the problem. Oh, I think we might get by with this. Okay, so it homes at the top left. That's important to know. That's interesting. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Watching out. Okay, it's heating up. I just heard the fan kick on. We don't want to print on a black surface with the black PLA that they gave me. Do I have, let's just be fair. Do I have any Pro Series PLA, just for fun? I should have. Is it hanging up over here? I know I have a roll of that somewhere. That's not it. I have about 10 different spots to put filament in. Okay, it's still heating the nozzle. I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna find that. Hold on. Well, I can still talk to you. I just can't read the chat. That's not MatterHackers. This is. Here we go. I knew I had some somewhere. Here we go. And I can even put it on my fancy spool holder. So we got a Bowden style extruder set up here, which looks to be, yes, it says it on it, that's a CNC extruder body, which are kind of cool if you've never seen one. Oh, it's doing something else. That is one tight extruder. The Bowden tube is kinked. Man. That might actually have to be replaced. It's a little tight where that kink is right at the top, but I think it'll fly. All right, it's doing stuff. What's it doing? Print hardware error. Your printer is reporting a hardware error that prevents the printer from functioning. Probe not deployed. BL Touch is throwing a panic. Okay. So let's reset. It's dancing around a little. In fact, it's got like rubber feet on it. So, and this mat is not helping it any, I'm sure. Let's just, for good measure, let's get this on the table. I know that does nothing for your camera angle, but now you can see the extruder probably. There it is. We'll, after the calibration and stuff, well, let's just do it now. It's going to be really close to that camera. I'm going to make you seasick. There you go. Okay. Thomas Arduino Makes is here. Welcome, Thomas. I don't know what's special about the Pulse. It is from MatterHackers. It is fully assembled. They get them to you quick. It's assembled here in the US. We're going to find out what's special about it, right? All right, power back on. BL Touch is currently not panicking. That's a good sign. Oh, now it is panicking. Thomas is here. Hello. Thomas Moraz? Yeah, well, every time I power on and power off and power back on, it goes into panic, and it's because the pin is extended. I don't know if it's damaged. I will do a manual reset on it and see if that helps. Wow, there's a lot of COM ports on this computer. Okay. I'm all the way to COM 23. Let me do a manual reset on that sensor. I think BL Touch reset commands are like the most common one for people to ask for. How do you reset that? Well, I think it's an M280. Panic time. Okay, reset alarm. Okay, the alarm has been reset, so it's not panicking. Now let's see if we can pull the pin in and out. It is definitely down right at the moment, so let's pull it up. It cannot pull the pin up. Crap. I think we have a sensor problem. I don't like it. That's not good. It can't pull the pin up. I thought this was going to be an easy day. I thought, hey, you bought a fully assembled printer. All you got to do is go down there and print a Benchy. Everything will be fine. Let's run the self-test. I know it's going to throw a fit, but yeah, it can't self-test. We have a probe problem. I know that's usually a personal problem, but we currently have a probe problem. So now what do we do? I probably missed a whole lot of stuff. Antidepressants into the extruder. Thank you, Walter. Yes, I always have to go find it. Granger sells Garolite. Excellent. Yeah. Call MatterHackers and complain. Well, I'm not going to do that yet, but I have a feeling me and MatterHackers are going to have some sort of discussion about it, because it definitely didn't show up ready to go, and that is disappointing. Kind of disappointing. But, I mean, they obviously tested it before it left the factory, right? So, I mean, this could all be a shipping issue. And everybody loses in that scenario, right? When it's a FedEx or a UPS problem. I don't get something that works out of the box. MatterHackers is currently, you know, there's a stream of everyone on it right now that I'm showing you that this thing's messed up. So they lose, I lose. It's not good for anyone when when it's a shipping problem. So we'll see. Okay, so there's the probe that does Z. This is the BL Touch. I just want to make sure the connections are good before I go messing things up. So they have different, no? Because the Bowden tube was pretty pinched. So, I mean, maybe the wire could have got pinched. I might still be working on this when it's country time. They're kind of in a sidecar piece of heat shrink, so I can't tell what color they are. That's the fan. Those are all fans. Because they're using Z Max, right? It looks right. It looks right. I do not have a Folgertech i3. I've been looking at Folgertechs. They've got kind of a CR10-ish one out there right now. I've been looking at. Yeah, wire. That's kind of what I was thinking, Walter. I'm not sure. It's really hard to find in there. Yeah, George, maybe. Yeah, so you've got the servo wires, right? Orange, red, and brown, and those go into your, they're using Z Max as a servo pin, I'm guessing. They're not using the standard labeled connectors for this printer. They have done some firmware change up to utilize other pins. So I would almost have to know 100%. I can make some guesses, but see you later, Thomas. I can make some guesses about how it's hooked up, but to know 100%, I'm going to need a schematic. Unless I take all the wire wrap off of this, which I don't want to do. But I'm pretty sure, so here's what they have hooked up. So Z Max, they're using as the servo for the BL Touch. And then Y Max, they are using as a Z in-stop for the probing. And since it's not wired as the board is laid out, I cannot confirm nor deny that that is the correct setup. It's not possible for me to do that. But I have touched all of the cables. Let's unplug the sensor from this side and plug it back in. This seems really ridiculous. Is this thing still on? It is. I should have turned that off. Yeah, I should let MatterHackers take care of it, and they will. I mean, they will at some point, I am positive. But makes a really boring stream. I guess I could go get another printer and start over. All right. See if that helps any. Well, that's the problem, Colin. I do not know that. I have nothing to base that on. I would have to go rummage around to find it. Yeah, I mean, I could just hook it up the way I think it goes and make it work. True. There you go, John. So, yeah, and it's in panic mode again. That's a good point, though. It's a good point. They printed with it before it left, so hopefully it wasn't a loose wire. Okay, alarm is off. Pin down. Alarm is back on. Oh, that is just a bummer. That is a bummer. I can try. If you want to take a look. I don't know how well you can see that. Here, I'll even give you that. I could probably get it a little clearer as far as focus goes. So yeah, so they've got, like I say, they're utilizing different pins. If you know the Mini Rambo, this is where all your in-stop stuff's going to be. Tom, we're getting there, huh? This is a stepper motor I got this morning I need to use. My shoe is untied. I don't want to fall down during this stream. It just so happens that I have worked on a few 3D printers before. If you're new to this channel, but the problem is finding things in my mess of printer parts. That is always a problem. If I was a BL touch sensor, where would I be? I'd probably be in the same spot where I last left it. BL Touch. Where would I have put one of those? Maybe it's in the electronics box? Nah, that'd be too easy. I'd be more creative than that when putting things away. If I was a BL Touch. This really isn't how I wanted this to go today, everyone. I'm sorry I'm missing all the chat. This was supposed to be watch a printer print and talk with everyone chat, not holy crap, something doesn't work chat. I'll be with you as soon as I find it. I have another printer that has a generic VL Touch on it that I could steal, but I also have at least one VL Touch floating around somewhere. VL Touch is not my favorite leveling sensor either. It works just okay. I'm more of an inductive guy myself. probably in that box of electronic stuff I said it would not be in. This box is completely full of servos. Let's see. Yeah, I've done it, Colin. Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you. BLT. Yeah, it's probably just me, but I've had better luck with inductive probes than I have with BL Touch. But they haven't all been genuine BL Touches. And something happened on the stream. We got a new subscriber. We'll check and see who that is here in just a moment. So it's probably just my experience with the sensors, right? Well, not to mention, like, I can get an inductive probe for like $3. But you have to be in a certain scenario to use one. I don't think it's in there. Let's catch up on chat. Bennett is here. Hello, how are you? Tim Hull, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. Henry, Alfonso? Henry, hello, how are you? Welcome to the stream. I cannot pronounce your name. Demencio? Well, I'm working on this pulse printer, and I got it out of the box, and it has some shipping damage. And now the inductive probe, or not the inductive, the BL Touch or something similar probe is not happy about something. Merlin subscribed. Thank you very much for subscribing. Appreciate that. I did buy this pulse. I did. Yes, Tom, good point. I will do that. In fact, let's just say that right now. Don't do this. Don't, if it's broken, call MatterHackers and wait. It's gonna suck, because you're gonna wait. But don't fiddle with it. Call MatterHackers. Thank you, Tom. That's probably a great suggestion. Derek, I might. If I can get the time to fit it into the project list, I will attempt it. I've looked at it a couple times. It is phenolic, or like PCB material. So I don't know if there's actual copper inside that or not. Dom, thank you. That is appreciated. Now that I see your name and your avatar there, I have talked to you in the comments several times. Thanks for coming to the live stream. Yeah, Derek, we'll see if I can give it a shot. It's not as easy as I would like it to be, but we might be able to make it work. Okay. Where's that sensor? Do I have to take everything apart to find one thing? because that's usually what happens. I want to say it was even in the box. What was the last thing I used that on? What was the last project we did where there was a BL Touch? Those are all servos. I don't even remember the last thing we did with a BL Touch. Like I say, I can go get the knockoff one. I know where it is, but I'd really rather use a genuine one. I know it's just got to be laying down here in some of this stuff. I'm gonna break everything I own. See? There's a pin to probe. That doesn't do us any good. There's some Titan extruder parts. That doesn't do us any good. But if I needed that, I wouldn't be able to find it. So. I guess we're gonna have to steal one. Oh, boy. Robot Hut is here. Hello. I know, Thomas. Every time I need to find something, especially, you know, when I'm on a live stream, right? When I actually need to find it, I'll never find it. I had a box of inductive probes, period. I want to say it might have made it into that box, but I don't know where that box is. I will do a tour of I was thinking about that the other day, Bennett. It's not all that magical, but I am getting ready to make some changes on that side when it gets closer to winter. And I was going to do a tour before I started the changes and post it up. So yeah, I think I was thinking about it the other day. I need to clean about 6 inches of plastic leavings and ends off the floor, and then I'll give you a tour. All right. Well, I'm wasting time at this point. There's servos everywhere with the orange and the right colored wires on it, so I keep thinking that's the sensor, but it's not. I got a million diodes that I haven't used. Because it would be, if I could find the real one, it would be a drop-in replacement. It would be. And that might just be the case, because I think on the generic ones, they're solder on, and that's not going to be good. Let me look at the generic one real quick. It's over here. Yes, those are solder in place. That's not going to do us any good. So I can't do that. I have to find the other one. Man. If I can't find the other one, aha! I know what I did with it. I used it on this Delta. On a video that no one's ever seen before. It's right here. Sorry, Delta. You're going to be our donor today. I probably lost everyone that was watching that. Now they came to see a pulse, and now they're just watching me look for stuff. Okay, now I'm back. So we'll take it off of this one. That's when I find the BLT. BLT. Sneak peek, yeah, I guess so. I stopped working on this video after I ran into some issues, and I still have about half of it done, and I need to get back to it. Let's just say this. Deltas are not the easiest things in the world to auto-calibrate. Okay. So I have located a BL touch sensor. So far, that's been the hardest part of today. So we'll set this guy over here for now that I've robbed him of his sensor parts. Let's make sure the power is off. Let's swap this guy. As bad as I hate to take apart this brand new printer. It still has a new printer smell. You have a panic attack when you see deltas? Sometimes I do too. You guys are hilarious. It did not come with Nylon X. This is just the regular printer. You can get the XE version, and that comes with all the cool nylon stuff. This is the base model. So it has like a V6 light hot end and such on it. All right, so there's little springs that they put to set underneath these sensors. And I really don't want those to come off of there. So let's be extra careful. I don't think you're going to get any, even if I switch you to, well, you're on table. You're not going to get a whole lot of view on this. Sorry. Oh, no, stay there, spring. Stay there. Oh, I saved one. I lost the other one. And before, holy, now I'm really confused. This BL Touch has a plastic probe. How does that work? There's a plastic probe in there. I've never seen that before. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm really confused, Brian. Yeah, it must be the new one. I've never seen that before. I thought that these worked on there must be like a piece of metal on the end of it or something. Yes, there is. There's like a little metal collar in there. I was going to say, that's not going to work very well if it's completely plastic. Learn something new every day. This could be tricky. Wonder if I put like half of it on and then swung it around. If that would work. Oh! You probably couldn't see that, but that spring is gone. This is going to be one of those live streams, everyone. One of those streams. It is a mini Rambo board. Mini Rambo. At least it's entertaining, right? Okay, so what are the chances I can find that spring that launched all the way over there? You want to give me some odds? BL Touch Smart? Huh. Yes, they are. Well, wait. I don't know if that one is or not. Yeah, Paul, if I thought about just testing it first, but if this doesn't work, even after I put it in, if this doesn't work, I'm pretty much out. I'm out of ideas at this point. So I figured I might as well go ahead and install it. Give me something to do while you guys watch me. Spring. What if those springs are magnetic? I have a magnet somewhere. I don't think there's any chance that I'll find that spring. Man, it's been a rough day already. I have some of those springs. Well, I had some, but again, I had a hard enough time finding the sensor. I'll never find the springs. And I'm gonna bump something over here and like disrupt the camera and stuff. I can see that coming. Spring? Anyone? I see nothing. Okay. This is ridiculous. Okay. Well, before I ruin anything else by knocking it over or something, I will give up on that spring. I had some of those somewhere. But finding that would be just as hard as finding that sensor. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. So what's everybody else doing today? Why do I have some of this stuff? I really should clean these out. Springs? Anyone? Maybe they're in one of the little trays. I've only spilled these trays, 5, 6, 7 times onto the floor, so who knows what might be down there. There was a little box that had some of this stuff in it. All right, we're going without it. Yeah, Brian, that's not a terrible idea. At this point, I just like it to level. Yeah, you know, funny story. Funny, sad story. I got a magnet, right? So I could pick up and clean up all the little loose parts. And then I realized that most of the stuff that comes from China isn't ferrous. So it's just still laying around. I got like some wood screws picked up, but that was about it. So the magnets did me no good. All right. It's a little crooked, but probably good enough for this. Okay. Let's see if it reports successfully. Yes, it cycles successfully. So I think we have a bad probe. Oh yeah. And I'm totally not making fun of how the Northerners talk because I love it. I wish I talked that way. Yeah, stainless doesn't like magnets, does it? I love that accent. It's my favorite. Fargo, I love to watch Fargo just because of how they talk. Love it. Eating hard candy, laughing at me, looking for a spring. That's what I want to hear, Tom. That's what I want to hear. I am here for you. Okay, so let's plug back in USB. Maybe I'll find that spring in time for FKB. And for those of you who don't know, FKB is Fun in the Country Basement. That's where Walter from Country 3D, Glenn and Xander from Fun King 3D, and I get together on Sunday afternoons at 4 Eastern to have a chat. It's good times. Walter at Country 3D will be hosting it this week. All right, I should probably cancel. Let's disconnect and connect. Disconnect, yep, continue.
Pulse, check your pulse. Just so you know you are not toast, then you can post.
Thank you, Colin, for the $10 tip. And I love the text to speech. Amazing. Okay. We're powered on. We're plugged in. The brick works. Unplug this. Plug it back in. Connect. Oh, it's because it's hooked up to Prawnterface. I'm losing my mind. Okay, here's where we're gonna have to hold the part again. Maybe this will work. Eh? And I did exactly what Ron told me. I snagged that power cord in the middle of the homing. At least it's fun. At least it's fun. It is entertaining, I have to say. Okay, one more time with the floppy part here. Try not to pinch my fingers. the printer didn't boot back up. Yes, Z is at max. We're heating. It's heating. Yeah, it homes over here, top left, which is a little different. Yeah, Walter, man, I saw you were you kicked on a stream at like 2:30 my time or something. What were you doing? That's good to know, Ron. It's the nickel, huh? Colin makes stuff. He needs to be Colin making some videos. Burn. Haven't seen a Colin video in a little while. Matter Control will guide me through the probe calibration. It says. Oh, there's one of those springs. So I do have a spare. Here it is. So if we fail on calibration, I have a spring. Mario is here. Hello, Mario. How are you? We're working on pulse. Okay, now it's back in action. The probe is out. It's going to probe in the center at home. It probed once. It probed again. 3 times. Okay, so what to tell me? Use the Z control on the screen. We now take a coarse measurement of the extruder height at this position. You want to see this? Instead of looking at the board. There you go. Place a piece of paper under the extruder. How did I know that was coming? Paper. How did I know a piece of paper was in my future? Use the above controls. Press Z negative until the resistance to moving the paper wants to release the paper. Okay. It's pretty far up there. Okay. Now we'll refine our measurement with the extruder height at this position. Press Z until the resistance, so it's moving it in smaller increments. We started out at 1 millimeter. Until there's resistance and moving the paper. Now we're in 1/10 of a millimeter. Okay, I would say that's resistance. And then once to release the paper. Okay. Now we'll finalize our measurement of the extruder height at this position. So now we're doing hundredths, 200ths. Once to release. Okay, so we are at 3.06 offset. Remove the paper. Huh, you had to throw a thermistor in the firmware, eh? We'll have to talk about that. Thank you, Ben. Yes, people have been subscribing, and I really appreciate that. Okay, print leveling overview. Welcome to print leveling. Select a material, home the printer, heat the bed, but we just did all this. Oh, now it's doing bed temperature. Now it's going to heat the bed and want us to do it all over again. I know. It's kind of reforming. It's low, you know, it's low, but it did home. So I think we'll get by with it. As long as it doesn't, as nothing touches it. Now, if the printer were to, like, maybe the probe, something happened to that probe, and it collided, it'd be toast. It would snap like that. But the more I actually kind of twist it a little, it actually kind of it's close to where it should be. So I think we're okay for now. I am out of coffee. That's not good. Rodney's here. Good morning. Good morning to everyone that I missed. I know I did a lot of searching this morning. So if I missed you and I didn't say hello or good morning or good evening or afternoon, good on you. Thank you for coming to the stream today. It's air delivery, yeah, it just floated down. Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to support, I guess, huh? I don't like calling support. It's not that I, you know, you get them on the phone, gotta talk to them. It's not, they're good people. I mean, nice people. What are you gonna do? But okay, it's moving. Okay, it's gonna auto calibrate. It says 1 of 9. So how much time we got involved in this already? Hour and 20 minutes. Well, my FedEx guy has been known to take a package and toss it onto the porch, you know, from like 8 feet away. So it was marked fragile, so I'm sure that's exactly what happened. Now, I don't know why the BL Touch would have been bad. Because they obviously printed with that, and the carriage was zip tied tight. So I'm at a loss on that one. Congratulations! I'm now leveled in things. Now I'm done. Okay. So matter control is kind of like slicing with Tinkercad added onto it. The new one is. And I haven't really, you know, messed with this. I haven't messed with this version at all. So let's find something we like. I'm guessing their intent is to not have you level for every print. They probably save a mesh and would like you to use that mesh every time. I am not a big believer in that because I move printers around a lot. And the time that is wasted by a bed level is not significant enough for me to not do it every time. I would like to slice this, please. Slicing. Pramod P, hello, how are you? It could use a little bit of adjustment. It is also a little broken. So I sliced this and it disappeared. Hello? Undo. Where did it go? Oh, it's giving me a preview. Aha. I don't know that I like this. Rue? I probably don't, I'm not pronouncing that right. Hello, how are you? You know how it is with things that are new. Arrange all parts. I would like to do that, please. And now I would like to slice it. What is going on here? It might be my computer doesn't like this. It never fully loads the model. Let's start MatterHackers over, I guess. It's one of those days. I need to just go back to bed. Oh, we don't want that. That's not MatterHackers, that's Makerware. That's completely different. We want to stay away from Makerware. At least I do. Okay. We've got a pulse. We're going to connect. I would like to bring in a model, please. What is the easiest way to do that? Insert, cut, copy, or... Insert. Okay. I would like this object, please. And why didn't you put it in the center of the bed automatically? I would like you to arrange these parts, please. Okay, that looks better. Now if I slice it, it disappears. Tells me the print time is 0 seconds. And that's it. Why? 3D layer view, there's still nothing there. 2D view, there's still nothing there. Flat line. We need to bring in a model. Yeah, that introduced a whole lot of new problems. Clear bed. This is ridiculous. Okay. 3D object, yes. And it loads and it puts it at 0, 0 for some reason. Then I move it to the center. Maybe it doesn't like my name. Yep. That looks right. And then I hit slice. It disappears. And it's gone forever. Goodbye, thingy. Well, I guess we can try 1.75. Yeah, I should have named it my name. See you later, Dom. Yeah, that was the fastest print I've done all day. I believe we have a slicer software problem. Sure. Go for it. Yes, close it, please. It looks like Prusa MK2 without a pulse. Call it the air print. We've all done those. Okay. Launch. Launch, please. Sure. No, I don't want to print a calibration circle. Thank you. I don't know how this is going to work. Let's connect. I don't know if it's still going to do all of the leveling and such with this other version. Q to print. This looks much better. Well, maybe. Ready to print. Okay. What is going on here? When I hit print, it goes, okay, printing, and then it says done, and it's over. Come on. There we go. Yeah, speakerphone call, eh? That might take a minute. Still have to lunch. Invisible filament. Oh. Yeah, it just says ready to print. This is kind of ridiculous. I am not having any luck with matter control. Either version. So what are the chances that matter control... It tells me, so M851 is offset, and I currently have no offset. So what are the chances that matter control loaded everything it was supposed to in EEPROM, and I could print with another type of software with a different G code? What do you think? First, I'd have to have a G code. Hey, Jesse, how are you? Yes. Okay. At this point, I just want a print. Let's see what it does. Robo Tuto. Hello, how are you? Yes, we're going the Slick 3R route. I just sliced a G-code file. I connected with Pronterface, and I hit print. Now the only question is, did it save the bed mesh from when we went through that whole matter control thing? I do not know that. If it does something crazy and it's not printing, I will I'll set it with a G-code command, the offset, 851, and then we'll try again. But I'm hoping that it saved all this in EEPROM, even though print run, Pronterface, whatever you want to call it, does not say that it is currently in EEPROM. So I'm guessing it might be, that setting might be stored in matter control. So we'll see. If when it starts to print, it's going to be way off the bed if something is wrong. Is there a blue light? Yes, nice. It's like Kmart. I did not put a G29 in here. And my hopes were that it saved the mesh. So we'll see what it does. That will be the next thing we do. We'll add a G29. I'll have to set the offset though. My guess is it's going to be printing about 10 millimeters off the bed. And we're getting ready to find out. Oh, it's completely jammed into the bed, and it's gonna tear it really bad. Yeah. Awesome. Sweet. Well, that's a good way to ruin your build tack. Okay. We're gonna have to do this old school. I wouldn't be frustrated at $300. I am a little frustrated at $800. If that makes sense to you all. I'm not sure how it's going to take this. 851 negative 3.06. It doesn't like that at all. I'm guessing this is running Marlin, right? Let's see. Well, I have to have a Z in there. Syntax problem. Yeah, and I'm sure they'll sort it out. But still frustrating. Short between the keyboard and the seat. You know, all my years of computers, I've never heard that one, but I like it. I'm going to tell the guys at work that. It does deserve a coffee. I'm going to have to go upstairs and grab one here in a second. I was really hoping to see it print. Call me crazy. We're heating. Let's try it again. Yeah, I mean, you know, Ben, things happen. It's just no big deal. I mean, it's not that big a deal. We'll see what they want to do. Really, honestly, I hate to have to show this to you guys like this. I shouldn't say guys. To everyone like this. I hate to have to show this. But that's kind of the point, right? That's the point of the channel. Here you go. Nefarious? I'm just gonna take a stab at that. How are you? You are welcome. I like that setup, the multiple octoprint. It really works out well for me, especially when you're doing, you know, so many printers at the same time. Octopi really doesn't seem to complain about it at all, so it just seems to work. So I like that. Yeah, there you go. No problem. Here's another. All right, it should take off, but I am going to power switch it if it does the same thing. Yeah, it does the same thing.
Get a beer after the stream. What a shame that it didn't work. Anyway, you're awesome.
Thank you, Ben. $10. I really appreciate it. We might need a beer after this stream. That might be in order. We got another stream this afternoon, though. Can't forget that one. I might still be working on this. We might roll straight into FKB. All right. Hold on. Hold on. No, we have a sensor problem. Yeah, we lost the mesh, so we're gonna have to just go for the probe. I reset my offset, so we'll see. Deo subscribed. Thank you very much for subscribing. Robert Reynolds is here. Hello. Rodney is here. I tried a couple different things. Of course, I tried a Benchy, and then I tried a couple different versions of the Benchy, and then I tried something else. But every time I hit slice, it just disappears. And it might, I mean, my computer is not the greatest computer in the world, so it might be something I'm doing incorrectly. But I tried it in the beta and the 1.7, and every time I hit print, it would say, okay, print finished, and then nothing happened. Now we should probe. Yes, I paid for this printer. Yeah, that's a weird one. That's a new one on me. All right, what's it gonna do? We're gonna prime a line here. All right, I think we got it now. It's a little too close to the bed. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's just kind of making a mess at this point. Let's see if it'll do the second layer. I used the offset number from when Matter Control did all the leveling. Might have been a little too much. If I had a LCD with some baby stepping, I could fix this. But I don't know the syntax for baby stepping, and I wouldn't have time to look it up before the first layer was done. If it hasn't enabled, I'm not sure. Come on, second layer. I don't know. I'm not happy with that at all. I'm just not. That just makes a mess. You know it? I'll let it home first. It's on there good now. I'm gonna void my warranty altogether here if I'm not careful. Wow. Houston, we have a problem. We have no pulse. Needs more orange? You bet it does. Gotta turn this up to 11. Ben Craig is here. Yep, that's where glass really comes in handy. Yep, scrape away from the hands, kids. Don't do as I do. Well, thanks for stopping in. You're doing a good service fixing people's air conditioners. Air conditioning is awesome. Just scraping by. I moved the offset about 0.06 of a millimeter. I think that's probably not enough, but I still don't like it. Still don't like it. Steven, the Lightspeed is here. Welcome. Thanks for joining. We're working on a MatterHackers Pulse, and it's not treating me very well at the moment. But I hope that this is going to be the print that we're going to go with. Yeah, removable bed would be nice. That'd be a nice add-on. I noticed that the smooth rods are just pressed into the plastic as well. I mean, I know Prusa just has a zip tie that ties them on there, but they could probably use a zip tie or something. Well, I think it's all shipping damage. We had a broken part. The smooth rod was out on this side. BL touch sensor didn't work. And then I can't get matter control to slice a file. So. And the Bowden tube was pinched. All right. I think this is the one we're going to run with. Yes, this is the one we're going to run with. And it's really messy. Nope. I don't know if you could hear that or not, but that was an extruder skip. No, I bought it. I don't even know how many of these things have been reviewed. Any guesses? I think Maker Noob, Joe has one. And I know Joel has an XE, like the carbon fiber real deal. I don't remember seeing reviews, but I'm sure they did them. I just don't remember seeing. I don't know. It might be just a touch short. Because this angle right here at the extruder is probably just a little bit too sharp. Just a couple more. 10 more millimeters would probably help. Yep, and Joel, okay. See you later, Fernando. Tony Ryan's awake now. Excellent. 2 hours pre-built machine and still no benchy. That's exactly how I feel. Yeah, I agree. Could use a little bit more room on that tube. It's better, but it's still not great. Something's not quite right. And I don't know that it's all related to the first layer. Let's see what it does on the second layer. I still don't like it. I really don't. Still don't like it. I'm really tired of digging it off of here too. Something not quite right. Well, now I'm tearing the build sheet, so we knew that was going to happen. I'll tell you what. I don't know what I just launched across the room. Tell you what. I just cut a fairly large section out of the build tech sheet because this thing's way too close. Another spring, probably. I think we're just going to lose a piece of our sheet. Don't lose your sheet. Going to lose a pretty good sized piece of our sheet, I think. Yeah. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay, what is the baby stepping syntax? Because I'm going to fix this on the fly. M290. M290. I don't even know if it's enabled, but we'll try it. Yeah, Jesse, that's kind of that's what I was hoping. I was hoping that I mean, you know, you can't know about 3D printing without MatterHackers, right? I mean, you learn that pretty quick. So I was hoping this was like a, you know, out of the box open solution. And I'm sure there's lots of circumstances to this, but I'm not having a lot of luck today, as you're seeing. But shipping damage is not MatterHackers' fault. The Y rods? I don't think so. Right now it's printing over open holes in the build tech sheet, so. Okay, I baby stepped my way out of it. So we're off and running. 2 hours and 9 minutes in. Yay! They look like 10mm rods. I don't know that they'd bend. You'd get one of these numbers, right? It would skew. So you'd have one foot that was higher than the other. I don't know that they would bend though. They're pretty sturdy. They're plastic feet, so it would the feet would absorb it. It would break more than anything. High five, Brian. Thank you. But that's what we do, right? That's why I'm here. All right, we're printing a benchy now. We're on layer 2. Extruder's not skipping. Everything's right with the world. All right. Let's move this one down a touch without breaking anything. We don't want to break any more stuff today. We're going to gently That's right. It's not the destination, it's the journey. If everything printed right out of the box, what would I do? I am going to switch over to this for a moment. Do it, please. There you go. And I'm gonna go get some more coffee. I will be right back. Please work, Pulse. Please work. Persistence pays, yes. Okay, coffee time. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now, where were we? It's still printing, that's good. So let's take a vote. Do you want to watch printer up close? Or do you want me to switch back so it's like we're hanging out? Supposed to retract more? I probably missed a bunch of stuff. I'm going to pay attention to chat now. Let's hang, bro. Here, we'll do this. There we go. Actually, I have some other print jobs over there that I have paused overnight, and I probably ought to restart. Got a print job that's paused over here as well, but I don't want to listen to it while we're on the stream. Just an assumption. So I was hoping that Matter Control was going to. I am not going to New York Maker Faire. I'm actually traveling for work here very soon, and cannot be out of town one more time. So I won't make New York Maker Faire this year. No, I don't have a USB hub built in. I have an extension ran. The computer's like down on a shelf underneath, and I have just an extension ran, and I tagged it right here so that I could make it a little easier to use. Oh, back to retraction. So I was hoping that Matter Control was going to take care of all the settings for this printer for me. And that would include retraction. What I ended up doing was taking a profile off another printer, which happened to be the Ender 3, because it is a Bowden setup, and I use retraction for that machine, and it's something like 5 millimeters or something, 4.5 millimeters, something like that. So that's how much retraction that you're getting right now on this for this model. It's not the retraction is not set up specifically for this machine at this point. What else we got? Print up close and personal. Psychedelic 80s music light show. I control all the printers with Octoprint. Cool, Walter. Yeah, I don't know what the next trip is. I will definitely be at Murph, and more than likely I will be at Earth. So I will definitely see you at Murph. Yeah, I looked at the site the other day, Brian. We're talking about MMU2. I think it said October like 15th, somewhere around that neighborhood. So that's cool. Theo, thank you. Thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming to hang out. Yes, Stephen, I will be talking to MatterHackers about this. I will open a support ticket later today or tomorrow, and we will talk about it. Tony, I've done a lot of side-by-side comparisons of that very thing. I don't have any specific results, but it does add a lot of time. Like you get something like an E3D V6 on the right direct drive machine, your retraction is under a millimeter. I mean, you can go, and I go more in depth on all of that during the Mosquito Hotend video, and it's going to come out soon. But retraction is almost non-existent on some of those Hotends, especially on direct drive machines. So when you get to a Bowden setup and you're trying to prevent stringing and you're getting to those retractions in the 4 millimeter, 5 millimeter range, it really does start to add up. As far as how much per millimeter, I don't know, but it would be interesting. I would like to get some results on that. Thanks, Ben. We'll see you later. We'll see you later this afternoon for sure. In-depth files on the Duet. I have a walkthrough of how to configure it. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but you want to see like what's actually inside there line by line. I mean, we could look at it. I mean, we could either do it on a stream or I could make a video if that's interesting to you. But it's just a lot of G-code commands basically. But if you haven't seen how to configure one, check that out. I go a little bit into those files, but not a lot. It came out on April 15th for MMU 1. Yeah, I don't even remember when we ordered those, but I saw that on the Prusa site. They had orders way back there. Yes, Murph and Earth are always a good time. I always look forward to that. Coasting. The phrase coasting Matrix Clone is here. Thank you. Yes, I'm glad I got it working as well. The phrase coasting is used a little differently in different slicers. But basically what they're saying is, so you're headed you're headed down printing a straight line, whatever. You're going to see this in a video really soon, actually. So like you have this part, right? So you're printing down a straight line, and then you need to make a direction change. So it's going to, they call it coasting because it's going to try to pull back. It's not different than retraction, but it kind of is. It's going to pull back on the filament just a little bit to release the pressure to allow you to make a cleaner direction change. So when you're printing at a certain speed, you will get artifacts on the printed part where it looks like it's been pulled in a certain direction. And that's because it's flying down here printing and it decelerates and then it wants to make that direction change. Well, it's still extruding. It still requested that amount of filament, so it's gonna extrude it, and it makes it kick it out. It looks a little kicked out. So coasting tries to pull back the pressure on that filament just a little to prevent that from happening. And in my testing, I have found it doesn't work that well, honestly. But there are different settings, like in Cura and different slicers, maybe Simplified 3D, I don't remember. But there is like coast, like retract before coast. Retraction is going to be a set amount of distance. Coast is going to be defined on more than, I'm guessing, feed rate or acceleration, maybe. But that's what it is. It doesn't work that well. Linear advance is where you want to go on that one. Linear advance takes care of all that for you. Basically, yeah, it's just trying to relieve that pressure. So you run that line of G-code, right? It requests a measured amount of filament. The coasting can't affect that line, but what it can do is say, okay, I need 100 millimeters. I'm going to give you 100 millimeters, but coasting is going to go, okay, but when I'm done at the end of the 100 millimeters, I'm going to back up just a touch. So you get something like 100 millimeters. That's what coasting tries to do. Linear advance actually calculates it to the millimeter to prevent that from happening. So coasting is trying to do the same thing that linear advance would do. Linear advance is actually the nail in the coffin. It does it, and it's very impressive how it works. Yes, linear advance. Wednesday is the linear advance video. Spoiler alert. You will get the linear advance video on Wednesday, and it works very well. It's very impressive. Yeah, keep foot on the gas, trying to stop and turn. Right. Yeah, coasting, I haven't had a ton of luck with it. It's not, I use Slick 3R a lot. It's not real evident. Coasting isn't a real evident setting in Slick 3R. It's there, like there are some settings for it, but not like there is in Cura. I think it's a little more obvious how they use it in Cura than it is in Slick 3R, but it does the same thing. If you use linear advance, turn all of those settings off, by the way, because weird stuff happens if you leave them on. Automan. I don't even know that one. See you later, Ron. Thanks for joining the stream today. Much appreciated. Jake from State Farm is here. Hello, Jake. The printer's pretty quiet. That's good, right? Ooh, Matt, that's not good. Yeah, I don't know. They've improved it greatly. 1.8 had linear advanced 1.0 in it. 1.9 has 1.5 linear advanced, and it is a lot easier to understand and set up. So give 1.9 a shot if you want to give it another try. Like Tron in reverse. Nice. Oh, that was 1.9. Okay. I don't know what happened, but I'll show you how on Wednesday. You haven't? No. Man, I never know what's going on, Mac. You know, you've watched these streams and my videos. I have no clue. I just hope that it works most of the time. You saw how this stream went today. But we're printing. That's all that matters. We're printing. Tron, yeah, I haven't seen. Didn't they re-release that a while back? I never saw the. Well, maybe I did. Was that the one that had the dude in it? Was he in? I think he was in the new Tron, right? I don't remember. I might have seen that. That's right. We know how to overcome. We'll get it eventually. Sometimes I need more time than other times. Benji, he's running at a top speed of 60 millimeters a second for infill. Everything is under that. Benji is looking amazing. It's looking real good. The dude, that's right. Oops, my fault. I like it. Awesome. I am glad that you found the video helpful. I make them just for you. He was in both. Oh, is he in the original one? I didn't know that. It's been so long since I've seen that. Since I was a kid, probably, the original. Yeah, I have a hard time, like movies and stuff, like remembering, like I don't watch them very intently. You know, for some reason, it's like I'm always watching movies, you know, halfway. So I remember parts, but I don't remember everything. And so actors and stuff, I can never keep track of anything. I don't sit still very well, and I've probably talked about that on these streams before. I don't sit still long enough to watch a whole movie. Sitting in one place is not something that I'm good at. Yeah, I've seen Jeff Bridges play guitar. He does, not bad. Yeah, I know how that is. I've got a couple of printers in pieces right at the moment, and I really need to put them together. I don't think it's going to be today, though. What are we going to work on this afternoon? Huh? Any ideas? I stole my BL Touch for my Delta. I don't know. I'll find something. Yeah, Rodney, I am going to. That's one thing I'm going to do for this afternoon. I want to bring my laptop down and install Matter Control and see if it does the same thing. Because, like I said, this computer isn't the greatest anyway. But something is definitely wrong with that, with what I was trying to do. It just kept, the model just kept disappearing. Tron vehicles, yes. Protopasta's jamming on the MK3. No. Yeah, Matter Control 2.0, the beta version, is kind of a one-stop shop deal. You connect up, so you're tethered to the printer. It's a slicer, and it's kind of like Tinkercad. You can draw stuff right on the build plate there. So, I mean, it's cool software. It also enables power loss resume, I believe, if you're tethered. So, that's always good. Yeah, Matt, I've been seeing your videos on that casting. I need to go back and watch them. I'm again behind on my YouTube watching. That's really cool stuff. I don't know that I could ever get it done, but it's really neat. Yeah, Roddy, I'm gonna give it a try. I'll bring my laptop down for the afternoon stream. Yeah, winter's coming for us. I got a lot of projects planned. I don't know if I'm gonna get any of them done. That's cool. I've tinkered a couple of times with filament splicer designs, coming up with one. I really haven't found anything that does it very well, but it's still I would still like to do it. Palette 2? Palette 2 is going to be cool. I ordered one, so we will check it out together. If it works like it says it does, I mean, it looks like magic to me, but if it works like it says it does, it's going to be awesome. So we'll give it a try. It's much cheaper than the original palette. That's why I went for it. That was the only problem with the other palette. It was like $800 some odd, and that's just not a price point that I would be interested in doing that at. But it also, the MMU 2 is going to come, and it does 5 filaments, and the palette only does 4. So I really want to put them side by side and compare them, and give a good relation between the multicolor options, right? Because that's going to be a big thing in 2019, multicolor is going to be the thing. So we'll see. Awesome. We're going to get something casted. Sweet. Vaughn's here. Hello, Vaughn. How are you? Yeah, we're going to check it out. I hope it's as good as it looks. The palette, too. No worries, Ben. Thank you for saying that. But I'm glad they work out for everyone. I like that. I like to be hopeful. Robert, as far as I know, they're going to let you use that Canvas cloud for a certain period of time for free. So I'm not sure how that's all going to work out. They did talk about eventually licensing it, but I think they're going to let you use Canvas Cloud for free. Hey, Scott. So we had shipping damage. One of the plastic parts was broken, the Z holder, which is also the end stop holder. It's cracked, so it was kind of bent down. I was able to kind of push it back into place and get the homing done. And then one of the other side, the Z-rod was knocked out. So I'm guessing it took a blow from this corner and shoved the whole thing down, right? So it popped that Z-rod out. And then the BL touch sensor that came on it was just panicking. It wouldn't, when the pin tried to move, it would just flash. It wouldn't move at all. So I swapped out the BL touch with another one that I had. And then I can't get matter control to work. When I load a model, I hit slice, the model disappears. And then I went to that was the 2.0 beta, and then I went to 1.7, and the model appears, it slices it, and then when I hit print, it says, printing, print done. And the print lasted like half a second. So I either have a serious computer problem or something about matter control isn't right. I'm gonna have to find another computer. But and then I had to go, so since matter control didn't work, then I had to go through all of the Z-probe offset and things like that to get the correct build height, because I had to use a Slick3R to slice a file and manually send it over. So it was kind of a rough day. It was a rough day for a fully built printer. Oh, and the Bowden tube was pinched. So that's all the problems I've had today. I'm not really sure how that's going to work with slicers. I think you have to have some sort of software, though, to get it to work. I'm not sure. Because, I mean, MMU, you just use slicer and you paste it. It has a pulse. Yes, John, it has a pulse. It's printing. We are getting benchy today. I sliced the file manually, John, with Slick3R, and I just, I baby stepped my way, I G-code command my way out of the first layer after I tore a pretty good size hole in the build sheet. Yeah, it was Chris Self without a pulse. It's $800. Kind of review. Well, we'll see how MatterHackers wants to deal with this. I not meaning on the review. Out of the box experience. Not as good as I thought it could have been, but shipping damage. The shipping damage is one thing. Just take all that off the table. I can't explain the BL Touch because it came with a printed model on it. The X carriage was locked down with a zip tie. I can't explain this one. And then the software, it's beta software, and it might be my computer. So we got some things to think about on this one. This is for sure. Make a video on MK3 extruder. Okay. Yeah, I was expecting for the stream to be over by now, actually. Playing for game, I forgot. No worries. Yeah, well, I was hoping I didn't have to beat this one into submission. We'll see. Whether it likes it or not, whether I want to or not, that's more like it. Sometimes I just don't feel like it. There's a few machines that I currently have, and I won't state their names, but that I'm having a really hard time make work at all. You should totally live stream that, Brian. Yeah. The BL Touch one's going to be hard to explain. That's what I'm thinking right now. You know, these are adjustable. That's a good point. These are adjustable. We'll run some more tests on it. I'll put this one on the Delta, and we'll do some testing. Maybe we'll do that this afternoon. The print goes forever, and the stream never ends. Ain't that the truth? Hotel Printing, California. You should run and leave. So, okay, Scott, let's talk about that. Yes, it is a classic i3 design. I feel like I'm on the Home Shopping Network. Yes, and we have. It's a mini Rambo, so that's MK2. It has a PCB heated bed, like an MK2. It does have a Build-Tech sheet on it instead of PEI. They're using a BL Touch instead of an inductive probe. It has the same. They're using a V6 Lite with a PTFE tube instead of the all-metal V6, which I don't really care for, but we're going to do. It uses the same part cooling fan as a Prusa does. They have a 3D printed mount for the extruder, so just like Prusa does. All the feet are printed. The Y motor mount is printed. 6mm aluminum frame. Y idler, Z holders, Z mount holders, all that is printed. They do have a snazzy spool holder over here on the side. They have taken away the normal PSU and they've given you this giant brick, which is rather warm, by the way. So that's something different. But they put a spool holder in the place of where the PSU would be. So pretty much all of that is the same. No LCD or SD card, which if I would have known that, I should have read a little bit better. If I would have known that, I would have ordered it because I just prefer that. I guess that's old school. I don't know, but I would much prefer to have one. Every time it does a retract, there's a piece of it's pulling on the Bowden tube, and that might be because it's pinched, but it's actually pulling that tube down and moving around in there, and it should not be. That should not be the case at all. Anyway, they have a CME CNC Easy R extruder with a Bowden tube instead of a direct drive on the carriage. That's one of the biggest differences, and they also home in the top left corner. So they have an inductive probe to home instead of an end-stop switch, and then they use the BL Touch to do the leveling, which is a little different. But I mean, it's a Prusa that's been changed up a little bit. I mean, these are quite a bit larger motor on the Y, I've noticed. I mean, it's a 17, but it's probably like 45 deep, maybe. That's interesting. But wait, there's more. 4 million payments of $5.99. Since I can't post on Twitter. let's see. I'm assuming it's 12 volt. It is 12 volt, 15 amp. Which doesn't really sound like enough to me. I'm more of a 30 amp guy. All right, Brian, thanks for coming to the stream this morning. Appreciate it. Have a good lunch. It has kind of a interesting insert in it. It really does tug on it pretty hard, though. I don't know about that. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, it was, but hey, that's what we do, right? I'm just glad it's working now. .21 gigawatts. There you go. Bringing in the big guns, 42 amp. Sometimes you can get those Dell, or I think HP probably has them too, but those Dell bricks, those really big ones, cheap, like on eBay. You know, like $12 or something. My backup power supply, my 12 volt, is just some $18 deal I got off of Amazon. It works really well. I haven't blown it up yet, but it hasn't had like super long periods of use either, so. It's looking okay. Mad lads. Hello, James. How are you today? I'm guessing that was for Mad Mike. I make thingies. Yes, it's the printing sensation sweeping the nation. It's a benchy. That spool holder makes the filament clack. You can hear the when it tugs, it kind of does one of these numbers and makes it clack. Oh, gotcha. Magma, gotcha. This one's at 210. Not printing Marvins anymore? I like Marvins. Well, Scott, I don't know about negatives, but that's why I got one. A question that I often ask myself when I walk around 3D printers is why? And this is kind of one of those in that category. Why? Why does a TAS 6 cost $2,500? Why do they make the Pulse? And that's really what I want to know. And that's why I got the base one. That MatterHackers Nylon X, they sell that XE version with some upgraded parts. And then they give you the dryer for the nylon and all that. So I think it's more geared towards that. But they do offer this version. And it's a US company. They're not US parts, of course. I mean, it's got E3D parts on it. And it's the same money as an MK3. MK3 has way more magic than this one does. And I would say first look is a superior machine. But you also have to, $800 is the kit price. You know, Prusa's closer to 1,000. It's over 1,000 by the time you get it here. So it's not, it's more money, but not a ton more. So that's really why I got this one. You know, why? And I think we're going to find out. "3D Hubs is hosing everyone." I did not see that. I do not have a hardened steel nozzle on anything. I've got some copper ones, but I really don't see much of an advantage unless you're using abrasive material. I've got, like, you know, some glow in the dark and stuff like that, but I don't have any of the really abrasive stuff that I use yet. So I don't really have a need for one. I just buy a bunch of brass nozzles and I change them out, you know, as I see fit. It's just, I don't know. I think it's easier than trying to try to dial in a different nozzle. But again, I really haven't had much experience with it, so I can't say. Not a big bed either, no. Wayne, that's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I can't figure it out either. Well, that's not cool. What are you doing, 3D Hubs? Yeah, the glow in the dark, I have printed huge things out of glow in the dark. And and I didn't have to swap the nozzle until after the fact. So, but I did swap it, but you know, nozzles are cheap. So I'll usually just start, if I'm doing glow in the dark, I'll just start with a new one, a new brass, and just let it run until things get a little sloppy. And then I'll toss it and just go again. It's not that big of an issue for me anyway. It depends on the filament, of course, right? Yeah, nylon X, I'm guessing you would have to have a hardened nozzle. That has strands in it, I believe. There you go, stainless. Stainless would be just as hard as a lot of stuff, right? Ben's Batcave, thanks for joining the stream. The Linear Advanced video is coming out Wednesday. I have tested it on a Bowden printer, and I do go into what settings that you would have to change to make it work on a Bowden printer well. I can tell you it does not work as well as it does on a direct drive machine, but I kind of go into that on that video on Wednesday. So check that one out. That's kind of my point of view, Vaughn. I just scrap it. But I mean, if he showed one that was twice the size, I don't doubt it. But it's also going to depend a lot on how the filament was made. I've used, like, I don't know what brands of glow in the dark I've had. I know I had some inland glow in the dark at one time, and like I said, I was printing on the CR10, and I was printing some huge stuff. They were like decorations for Halloween for the outside of the house. They were big. And I ran almost the whole spool and didn't have any issues. But the nozzle does get some wear on it, so I just trash it and go again. Yeah, no, I mean, there's I don't. So if you're getting more stringing on the nozzle, my first inkling, my first thought would be, so it's retaining heat. It's not dissipating heat as well as a brass nozzle would. So that's my first thought. Is it a Bowden printer? And what's your retraction like? And crank down the temperature 10 degrees and see if it goes away. You've had nozzles break in the hot end. The only guy I know that had that happen was Walter. You should probably change your nozzle. Yeah, like I said, if you're having problems. Yeah, they kind of lose their glowiness. The Guinness is here. Welcome, by the way. 3D printers hate you. They don't hate you. They hate me. No, I'm just kidding. That's why the 3D printing community is so tight, is because 3D printers are so frustrating. You have to have a support group to use a 3D printer. What about the block sock? I like the block sock. People have reported that they fall on the prints and ruin them. I've had one on an MK2 for 8 months. It's over there printing right now. It does get deteriorated, you know, it's kind of cracked and gross looking, but I think it prevents the total failure scenario. So like when something comes unhooked and then you just have a complete mound of plastic on the block, the sock actually prevents that from happening because nothing will stick to it. So I like the socks. I haven't had any problems with them. Glenn was saying that he was going to like bread tie his, you know, around the block so it didn't fall off. I have never had the need to do that. AJ is here. Welcome, Sonic Alchemy James. How are you today? Walter's back for a bit. Awesome. 3D printers anonymous. I've told that story before, but I told Joseph Prusa how many printers that I had, and he said that I needed to go to meetings. he said you need to go to meetings, and he said, "Hi, my name is Chris." It was a pretty funny moment when Prusa tells you that there's something going on. The Orange Fox is here. We have traded many emails, and I'm trying to help him with his Delta printer. He is struggling with some firmware settings, but I'm hoping the link that I sent him to the Anycubic site will be helpful. Welcome, the Orange Fox. Had a leak under the sock, really? So it was leaking in between the sock and the heat block? It was like dripping inside there? I've only used the sock. Do I have one on the clone? No. I've only used the sock on genuine E3 blocks. I did not put one on any of the clones yet, so I can't speak to that. Yeah, he's got a 300 plus for him. He can have as many as he wants. It's as soon as they name a 3D printer Chris Riley, I think I don't have to go to the meetings anymore. Hobby Rob, thanks for joining the stream today. You're welcome. I posted a link to that video of the Marlin version that I use from Google Drive, just in case somebody wanted to take a look at it. Aha, yes. I have stripped that block out before. I don't like that. That makes for a bad day. A genuine Chris Riley, yeah. I often kind of think about, you know, okay, I'm gonna market my own 3D pro. Well, not seriously. I would never. I don't think I'd ever seriously market one. But if I were to do something like that, there's like a rule. There's a suggestion. It's not a rule, but when you're a mechanic, when you're an auto mechanic, your car is usually like the worst car. Like you never fix it. You just drive some piece of crap. And I've known mechanics that were true, and you know, of course, it's not true for everyone, but that happens sometimes. So I kind of feel the same way about 3D printing. If I made one, it would be like the mechanic's car. You know, it just kind of works, and I have to hold it just like this to get it to start, and things like that. But I've often thought that was a pretty funny scenario. Mine would just be, you know, whatever. How hard could it be? Putting a video together, I will watch that video. How hard could it be? I have that thought all the time. How hard could it be? I like that comment. Yeah, that is something I have not tested. 2 filament runout sensors with Octoprint. I haven't tested it, but in theory, you could just use them in series, right? So if one was open, the whole circuit would be open. Series? Parallel. Anyway, you could hook them both up so that if one was open, the circuit would be open, and that would trip the filament sensor. That would be the easiest way to do it. But you could also, with that plugin, you could add some code in the configuration file to use 2 different pins. So use the same power in ground, but use a different signal pin for that switch. That would also work. It'd be a little trickier to get it set up. I personally would just set up the 2 switches and in one circuit. So if one was open, it was all open. That way it would just stop it. That's what I'd do. Haven't tested it. Yeah, exactly. Like the patch panel for an electrician, right? Yeah, you have to keep if you purchase it, you will void the warranty if it's not in your basement. See, I think the theory is correct. Jesse confirms it. Yeah, I mean, at this point, building the printer isn't the hard part, right? It's thinking of a good idea. Somebody sent me, and I don't know if they're on this stream now or not. Siri, thank you, Big Steve. My mind is toast. Thank you. Yes. All right, Walter. I'll see you this afternoon, man. We're talking about building a printer. Oh, okay. I don't know if they are in the stream right now or not. Somebody sent me a link yesterday, I believe, that it's a link to Thingiverse and it's a printer. If I can find it, I will get it for you. It's a piece of IKEA shelving or like a cubbyhole like thing. It's just a square box, but then somebody designed an almost fully printable Core XY machine to go inside that box. It looks like a pretty easy build, and it looks really cool. So basically you're taking an enclosure and building a printer inside it. I was thinking about maybe building one of those on a series of live streams. Like we just do all one week, like in the evening, like a couple of hours each evening, and I just start from scratch and build one of those. Because I really like the way it looks. Let me see if I can find that link real quick. It's a pretty cool thing. Something about it, though, just it strikes me that I want to build it. Let's see if I can find that. Yes. you don't want to listen to the YouTube commercials, here it is. Check this out. I think this would be a fun build, especially on a live stream. I think that would be a good time. Check that thing out. I think I probably already have the parts. I mean, I think I've got enough motors and stuff sitting around, and you know, if we need a part, I'll just go steal it off of something. We can make this. We can do this. We can make this work. It's neat. I like it. It's not on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. Ben, I do not know. I don't know enough. I would guess Simplify 3D does that, where they actually tie it into speed. That's something that was a little hard for me to get my head around when I was testing Linear Advance. It's tied to acceleration. So Linear Advance will adjust acceleration if it thinks it needs to get its job done. I don't know if any of those coasting settings in the slicer are actually that smart, but they might be. They might be. I would have to, I don't know. I don't even know how I'd figure it out. Maybe if I pulled up some G code, I could find it. Like, okay, here's what it's doing. Like, I'd have to compare, like, slice without it and slice with, and then go see what the feed rate and stuff was doing on layer changes. It would take some work, but I could probably confirm that somehow. But I don't know. That's a good question, though. It's a good question. It would take some work to get it done. Hobby Rod, sure, fire away. Any question you got? That's why I'm here. How hard could it be? That's what I always say at the beginning of the video when the video lasts 9 hours, right? How hard could that be? We have the technology. It looks really cool, doesn't it? I think it'd be pretty cheap to build. I think that that piece of furniture was like $15 or something. It'd be neat. Yeah, I don't know. It's got a very unique design. You're right, belts for Z and that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'd like to give it a try, though. It looks like a lot of fun. There's a lot of belts on it, that is for sure. I think, though, eventually, being made out of that piece of furniture, eventually you could get it real solid, though. I have visions of it, like if we could get it built real solid and nice and straight, maybe make some brackets or something, but going for like high speed, you know, we'll put Linear Advance on it. We'll shoot for the 120, 160 print speed spot just to see if we can do it. I've got a 32-bit rearm board that we could try, and we've got the duet board that we could give a try. So that would be another interesting experiment on that type of printer on a Core XY that we hand built, because I would like to take the 8-bit board and go as far as we possibly could with speed until we start lagging on G-code processing. You know, how far can we take 8-bit and then hop to 32 and just see what it was going to be like. I think that'd be an interesting comparison. Have you thought about the X engine to turn around? I don't think I understand. I'm not sure what that is. Well, I mean, Core XZ, yeah. There's no reason why it wouldn't. I mean, a lot of the deltas that you see, unless you jump up to like linear rails, all the deltas are belts, just big long belts. I don't think it'd be a problem. It comes in orange? Does it really? Welcome, Adam, by the way. But if it comes in orange, we're doing this. I gotta have one now. Oh, motor on the other side, just flipping it to the other side. I've got printers like that. It should make zero difference. No difference at all. Duet board can run Octoprint as the printer front end. I'm not sure, Tony, in what capacity that you're talking about. Like you want Octoprint to live on the board, but they do work together fairly well. I have front-ended the Duet board via USB cable with Octoprint, and it works just fine. No problems at all. Good belts will make the difference. That is true. We're gonna have to get us some Gates GT2, maybe even some taller ones. I'm not sure what those probably use like 6mm or something. We might want to go to like a 10 or something. Nice stiff belt. So just because this is a MatterHackers printer, I am using MatterHackers Pro PLA to print this Benchy. It's not my favorite filament, but it's decent. Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for watching the stream. Clipper is on my list of things to do. I have loaded it just to say that I have touched it, compiled it. I have not ran it on a printer. When I looked at it, there was a lot of things that it didn't do, but they are developing it. So that is one of the videos that I want to get done. I want to do the Clipper video, and Walter was talking about Marlin 2.0, and that's next, right? We got to get to that 32-bit version. So I want to do that one as well. So lots of video ideas, just not enough time to shoot them all. But yes, Clipper's on my list. Really fast prints, cool. Yeah, so the box, just that box is the whole frame, and it will become your enclosure, basically. Yeah. Yeah, you could move that around wherever you wanted. It'd be neat. Yes. It's kind of expensive for a Prusa clone. You are correct. It is fully assembled. You should be able to pull it out of the box and start printing instantly. On most occasions. So, I mean, you have to look at, that's the first thing you're going to have to look at. Assembled versus kit. Because, I mean, a Prusa is going to be, 800. The MK3 is going to be 800. Same price, but it's going to be a kit version that you have to build. But the MK3 is going to come with a lot more features. Like filament runout. And, does this have filament runout? Nah. And, TMC 2130s and, crash detection, in-stop with homing, removable build sheet. So it's going to come with a lot more features for that extra $200. Yeah, Marlin is so rich in features. It's going to be hard to get away from for the time being. We'll see how the 32-bit stuff pans out. Time you speak of, yeah, no kidding. Cody, I do not. Thank you for joining the stream, by the way. I do not have experiences with Peak or Ultim or any of that high temp stuff. The only person that I know is Tom Jackson. He would probably have some experience with that stuff. filament frenzy. But I do not. No, I don't have any real experience with high temp. Steven's just going big. He's MK3 is way better. That's a statement you can throw out there. I am not going to deny it at all. The MK3 review is coming up pretty soon, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Then you can extend the frame in a box. You mean like... Okay, like a sidecar type of thing. Removable steel sheet is awesome. And there's getting to be more and more of them all the time. Gaps and under extrusion occurs on slow and small sections of the print. Yeah. And blobs on fast. See, it's usually the opposite. You get blobs when you dwell. Yeah, that is going to depend on so many different things. The light speed, are you in it? No, you're not in it. One of our community members is, and he doesn't know that he's in it, but he's not in it, but some of the work that he did is in it. Yeah, the kits are awesome, because you can do anything you want. That's why I specifically redid that Ender 2, or didn't redo it. I added some modifications. It's fun to do that occasionally. That's my original 3D printer kit is nowhere even close to what it was when I got it out of the box. I think I know what you're getting at, Rob. We're gonna look. We're going to look into this. We'll look at this. I definitely want to try that IKEA build, though. That would be cool. Yeah, Vaughn, that's no kidding. I remember when PET was the next huge thing. Yeah, I can't keep up. There's so much crazy stuff out there. It just gets more and more every day. Right. Yes, Marlin is actively developing. They are currently... So 1.1.9 is their last 8-bit only release. So everything from here on out will be 8-bit and 32-bit included. So yes, they're actively... It's out there right now. If you want to go grab 2.0, it's pretty much fully baked. You can go get it right now and slap it on. No problem. Yeah, linear rails would be awesome. And that might be like an upgrade point, you know, like I like the simplistic design that box has, that printer I showed you guys has. But linear rails would be an excellent option. Did any of you catch the tool changer, the E3D stream a couple weeks ago, where they talk about, you know, they're getting closer to releasing it? I guess all of that is supposed to be available by Christmas. I'm in line to buy one, but I don't know if I'm going to have the money to buy one. I'm not exactly sure what the starting cost is going to be, and then you have to provide your own board and all your own tool heads. So I would like to have one, but we'll see if I can make that happen. PTE was so frustrating when I first started with it. Oh my, that was one of those times where I walked away from it more than once because I was having a hard time printing it at the beginning. Agreed, Scott, agreed. I've had a hard time with my Ender 3. You guys will see that story as it unfolds, but mine has really given me a lot of problems. I haven't had as good luck as a lot of other people have had with it. I really can't recommend a 32-bit board, because I don't have a ton of experience with them. Duet is a nice 32-bit board, but it's a different animal. They run rip-wrap firmware, and then they pile G-code on top of that to control the specific machine that you're using. And that's a little bit different than how a lot of this stuff works, because we're recompiling Marlin, right, every time we put it on the board. There are, I think I showed this the other day, I don't think it was on our stream though. There are things like this. This is an Atmega form factor. So it's just like an Arduino Mega. It's the same pinout. You can just use a ramp shield on top of it. But it has a 32-bit ARM processor, and they're around $40. They call them rearm boards. So if I was getting into 32-bit processing, I would do something like this, because it's not going to cost you a lot of money. You can also get these rearm boards with a Wi-Fi module. But it's the cheap way to get started, and that's what I'm going to recommend to people. Plus, you have all the same stuff that you would on a ramp shield. You know, it's just going to take a regular old ramp shield. These are going to be the hot thing, though, I think. Just people swapping out their Atmega stuff with that type of thing, that type of board, instead of going to the really fancy Duet layout. That's a lot of money. You're going to get the same speed and processing results on something like that. So I would recommend looking at something like that rather than going straight to a Duet or something. Duet is really cool, though. Yeah, I'll have to look. Huh. It is on the wrong side. Interesting. I gotta sit down and look at that thing. There might be some. Ben, I'm behind on chat. I've been talking too much. I used to play semi-professionally, guitar and drums. I don't play as much now as I used to. This side, the other side over here, I'll do a tour for you guys sometime soon. That side over there is actually kind of a makeshift recording studio, and I have made records down here before. So yes, I used to play. I don't play much anymore. I need to get into. I need to grab some linear rails just to look at them and get some ideas. Thanks, man. By the way, if I didn't say that. No, that is not a hint to drop me some cash. The Orange Fox, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining the stream. We'll get your Delta fixed up, hopefully. Go up and center when done. Like you mean take the Z all the way up and be in the center of the build platform when the print completes? Is that what you mean? It would just be some in G code. I could spout you some numbers if you'd like in the ending script. Okay, let's see how far back I am. Okay. I think it would be a smart move. Good morning. I'm totally gonna butcher that. Thalzo? Good morning. I know I butchered your name. Sorry. Thank you for coming to the stream. Hobby Rob, please do. I would like to see it. STM32, probably stay away from that board. I've had bad luck with that board. Scott, yes, I've had extrusion problems galore. And they've been caused by a couple of different things on the Ender 3. STM32, there's probably a million different ones, right? I think mine was like it was a clone of some kind. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Rearm, how they're doing. They still sell quite a few of them, I think. Hey, Joe, Arduino do $12 ramps? Oh, cool. There's my music is out there. It's old, like it's from 2007 or 2008. I haven't been in a band in a long time, but it's available. Yeah, I've noticed that too, Scott. I don't know if there's a VREF jumper on that board or not that you can switch that off. But yeah, it does. That's one of the. That's kind of an old school thing to do. Like halfway up the center. Yeah, it would all just be a G-code command. That wouldn't be a big deal. Jake's back. Everybody can stop worrying. Jake's back. Tylaz? James, I had one of those boards, and it does some really crazy things. I don't even know where it went. I had it on one of those deltas, like on that GTIC Delta. It does some nuts stuff. Cool. Hey, you're welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out. Duet is cool, and that thing is silent. The Duet Wi-Fi that I have, it's the newer version, and it has 2660s on it. Man, those things are nice. Yeah, Jake will be in a band with me? Sweet, we're gonna put the band back together. Well, Scott, it feels like just the other day, but it was a decade ago. It would be the very dark song. Cool. No, I'm not. Walter does the singing streams, not me. But go to Walter or Ben Craig. I know you were correcting yourself, but. Oh, it's all 3.3, eh? I did not know that. No 5 volts. See you later, James. Thanks for joining the stream. Brian Moore, thank you for joining the stream from Scotland. That's appreciated. Welcome. Scott, I don't know. I don't know if you can do that in other slicers or not. Prusa gets more and more into that all the time. you have been able to do that in Slick 3R since forever, as far as I can remember. Like, there are a set of variables that you can use, like scale. I don't remember what all of them are, but there are variables that you can use with those statements. I don't know if Cura or anybody else allows you to do that. I want to say it's specific to Slicer, Slick 3R. Maybe someday, Ben. Maybe someday. Right. And that's been somewhat recent, Scott, that they moved to that. I'm kind of thinking it's something that they're developing, though. I can tell. So I contacted. I opened an issue on Slick 3R, the newest version, because something was really causing me a problem. I don't know what version they introduced it, but they were trying to develop a way to accurately determine what your print time would be. You know, get it closer to what it would actually be. And in doing that, they introduced a section in your printer, like in the printer settings where you would set like retraction and extruder and stuff. On that screen, there are variables. So you, instead of when you start a print, like on most printers, when you start a print, it goes in and it uses the firmware set values for acceleration, feed rate, jerk values, all that stuff. It uses the ones that are hard-coded on the board or in EEPROM. Prusa decided that they were going to set all of those values in a screen inside of Slicer, Slick 3R, and then shoot G-code commands, put park G-code commands in the start of each print to set all of those values. So, like if you took the Prusa printing profile and you wanted to use it on an Ender 3, you would be unintentionally forcing the acceleration, the feed rates, jerk values, forcing the ones that Prusa wants you to use on that printer. And that's not going to work. Not going to work well anyway. And I asked them, how do I disable this? Can I just set these to 0 or something like that so that it uses the firmware value? And they came back with the question, why would you want to disable it? And I said, well, it's because I'm running a bunch of different machines that aren't Prusa with this slicer. And they said, well, just set your firmware version to riprap instead of Marlin, and that goes away. So that is the workaround for it, but be careful. So if you are slicing with Slick 3R on a non-Prusa printer, go check those values out, because it's going to force that Prusa stuff on every printer if you don't. Joe just learned something. What did we learn, Joe? I just used some, I think it's Gorilla Super Glue. I think that's what I used. I mostly just stuck my fingers together. Yes, it's Gorilla brand Super Glue. That's what I used for the magnets. Seemed to work okay. They haven't fallen off yet. In one small part only. That could be a number of anything. Under extrusion, Core XY has probably got a Bowden tube. Is it when you get that under extrusion? Where's the Bowden tube at? How far out are you reaching? Are you causing just a little bit too high of a degree of arc in the tube? Maybe, just off the top of my head. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, they've been using those if statements for a while now. Yes, Bo. Tom, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. Welcome to the basement. Bo, yes. Just set it to rip wrap, and that tab goes away, and then it'll default back. It won't put that G code in it anymore. That's the easiest way to get around it so far. Yeah, I noticed that too, and I was like, what is going on here? I think I switched from 4.0 to 4.1 or something, and that came in, and I was like, this is way too fast. A custom Creality board, huh? They have. So what is that, like a board for a CRX or something? That you used? Definitely, if you can, switch to something with a TMC driver. I highly recommend it. All of their drivers are good. They're not all the same now, but they are all top notch. It's back right near where the extruder is. Maybe that's, I mean, maybe it's squeezing it, like, so it comes back towards the extruder. The tube is going to go into an arc. Maybe it's pinching it just enough to cause you a problem. Try switching out the if you have some, try switching out the Bowden tube and making it just a touch longer, you know, even 20 millimeters or so. See if that changes anything. Make sure that the Bowden tube is the right size. I've run into a lot of Bowden tubes that weren't the correct size, so check that out. Yeah, so the tab goes away. So you have two options. You can either not use it and you're not going to have time calculation anymore, so set it to rip wrap, or you can leave it at Marlin and then fill the values in yourself. But it's still going to alter them with the G-code command. But so just go get the stuff out of the firmware and park it in there, fill it in, and it will be have the same effect. But you would have to do it for every machine. And since we do a lot of things like this, where I don't know what the settings are, you know, I have no clue what the firmware settings inside here are unless I go do an M503. So I can't just do a blanket, here's my static configuration that I use on all these printers. I have to go and I have to know the values. So I just did away with the tab altogether. I don't really care about the time estimation. I have not messed with that S-curve setting yet. I need to, though. There's a bunch of different settings for specific types of drivers in Marlin now, in 1.9, that I need to play with. And there's a lot of testing that needs to be done. Really? It's still moving too fast, huh? That's weird. I don't know then. That doesn't seem right. Try just ticking them off. Just switch over to rip wrap, and pull a file out and see if it's actually M503 it, and see if it's actually using defaults. That's weird. Something's not right in there. Mini panel, you're talking like that real small one, right? I don't have any ideas on that right off the top of my head, unless they change the mini panel configuration. Is that Gen L off of a specific printer or something home built? Oh, okay. Bo, that makes a lot of sense. Why don't they just make a Prusa one? That seems logical. Eventually, I'm guessing we will see that. But yeah, you have Marlin and then you have Prusa. Switching over to Slick 3R, you mean? You didn't gain much? I agree, Bo. Agree. Ender 3, well, I mean, it's already 24 volt and all that good stuff. I'd just get a 9C board and throw it on there. TMC 2130s are awesome. And it's relatively affordable. It's just a little over $100, I think. Yeah, then something has changed in the pinout configuration in 1.9, and I'm not sure what that would be. You might try a couple of different LCD display options, like switch it over to something else. The mini panel 1 for 1. Was it 1.8 or 1.9? I don't remember now. I have a mini panel running on 1.8 for sure. I have not tried it on 1.9, I don't think. It's true. They don't earn money on it, but it'd be nice of them. Techie Daddy's here. Welcome. Brandon. I have not tested that yet. I never got around to it. We're almost there. I need to test that. Did you ever get it working? Were you able to test it? What is going to happen to the X5S? I think I'm going to scrap it and build a hypercube. I think that's the plan. We've talked about building Railcore. Walter and I talked about doing a simultaneous Railcore build. So I will need the parts. But I think it will be scrapped to turn it into something else. Scott, yeah, you and me both, buddy. It kills me to have to pull out a Duet Wi-Fi to fix an X5S. But I mean, if that's the platform you like if you really like the Ender 3 for some reason, which it's not. I mean, it's a fine printer for a reasonable amount of money. It's not my favorite printer by any means, but you know, that's what you want to do. 1.8 works fine. So there is definitely something going on in the LCD config for more than one LCD screen in 1.9. I'm not sure what it is, though. Awesome. You're welcome. Magnus is back. Did I hear Hypercube? Yes. I think that's going to be X5S. We'll turn that into a Hypercube. How many printers do I have? Robert Reynolds, I'm not sure. It's close to 30. I can tell you that. It will not see the business end of a 50 caliber rifle, although it would be a cool video. It will not see that. We'll find something to do with it. MGN12 linear rail, sweet. There's a lot of different Hypercube versions out there. Walter built the Evo, and of course it's 3D printed, but it has like upgraded. It's a little different. I've been trying to compare the two, but Tech TC and the Evo. They use 30mm aluminum extrusion for one. The belt path is a little different. There's a couple of lead screws instead of just one. So there are differences. I would kind of like to build an original just to say that, okay, this is what the original design is. But I still have to, that's a project that's so many months down the road. Yeah, Marlin, I mean, I think they'll still support the 8-bit boards. Oh, they don't really support them now. But 1.9 will be the last. I would guess, though, as they make advancements and changes, that they will backport it to be able to process on 8-bit and 32-bit. I think that they'll probably continue on. We'll see how it goes. But do a video on overclocking? Could probably do that. I'd have to get in there and figure that out. They do have a lot of life left in them. These are good boards. There's nothing wrong with them. But we have to go faster. 306-6915. Hevo RS. Cool. Here you go. If you want to look at it. Nice. Got some videos and everything. I'll check that one out too. It's supposed to be. Is this printer for Octoprint? This printer will be utilizing Octoprint because I have no LCD screen. So, yes, it will be on Octoprint very, very soon. What's a good, cheap, first-time 3D printer? That's a question that comes up a lot. Currently, right now, I don't think, bang for the buck, out-of-the-box experience, you will be able to beat an Ender 3. Sometimes you can find Ender 3s for like $180. They have their issues, just like any other 3D printer would. Maybe more than usual, but affordably, at this point right now, I don't think you're going to be able to beat an Ender 3. So there's my take on it. Yes, Evo is supposed to be superior. It's quite a bit sturdier. Just coined it. The problem as in that is a new numerical value, a problem of printers, like a murder of crows or a clouder of cats. I have a problem of printers. I like that. I'm going to use that. I think I have enough I have electronics and hardware. I have a couple of heat beds, but none very big. I'd have to find another large heat bed. Description is German only. Dope. Won't have to learn German. 1.5, there's so many of those ramps, 1. Whatevers. I have one they call a 1.6 that has the big, it's got the big heat sink that goes all the way across all of the MOSFETs. That's what's running on log right now. And it runs really well. It does have a genuine Arduino on the back of it, so that helps. But so far, so good. That one is running really well. I like it. German engineering. James can help with the German. Excellent. Magnus can interpret for me. He'll have to come on the build. Jake. Pro tip. I like that. All right. This thing was pretty close to the print bed. And I'm missing some build tack, so. It's already ripped now. Why not chop at it a little bit longer? It stuck good. Well, the bottom isn't pretty, I can tell you that. It's okay. It's not the best benchy I've ever seen. I can tell you that. There's some weirdness. Is that a technical term? Weirdness. Let's see if I can get this in here. That's not terrible. Okay. So, the front of it's looking pretty good. The overhangs look all right. There are a few that are just a touch messy, which I wouldn't expect to see. I would expect that to be a little cleaner. You really don't see a lot of ghosting around the porthole like you usually do. It looks pretty nice. This side's got some funkiness to it. I don't know why. That might have been because the initial layer wasn't quite right. I'll have to check that out. Not sure what happened there. This is what the bottom looks like because it was way too close and I had to baby step my way out of it. The back is not near as clean as it should be. We have some blobbing in the corners. Like a few right on this side is pretty normal when it prints in that orientation because of where the part cooling fan is located. But this stuff in here, that's not right. It shouldn't be that messed up. But again, we'll look at it. This side's looking real good. The front side, the closest to the part fan, always looks great. And then we move to the wheelhouse. That's a problem. And you can see it all the way across. I don't know if it's an inconsistency in the Z-rod or maybe it's the broken Z-holder causing me a problem. I don't know. I saw a little bit, like right here, a little bit of missed extrusion. That's not that. That's pretty usual on a benchy though. Just a tiny bit of stringing inside the wheelhouse. There's no noise on the back of the shipping on the box. That's pretty normal to see sometimes noise back there. It's nice and clean, so that means the drivers are good quality. They're A4988s, they should be. Deck looks good, no under extrusion. So, it's a fair benchy. It's not the best benchy. But it did okay. After all that struggle, it did okay. Okay. PEI for life, agreed. We always got to look at the benchy. So that's that benchy. So this stream was supposed to be a lot shorter, but I really appreciate everyone hanging out today. What time is it? I have a little more than an hour before I go to the next stream on Country 3D's channel. Please feel free to join us over at Country 3D on YouTube. A lot of you already know him. I will be on that one, probably talking about this machine a little more. But we'll do that this afternoon. These are 4-start. They're the standard 4-start TR8 4-starts. Dual extruder with ABS. I wouldn't even know. Traffic cone, maybe? Streaming machine. Today I am. I'm a busy streamer today. All right. Hello from the Philippines. That's awesome. Thanks for joining, Ben, especially at what hour it is over there. Thank you for everyone for joining today and hanging out. There will be more info on this machine, I am sure. We will contact MatterHackers and see if we can't get some replacement parts or something. But it has been an interesting stream today. I have to say that. But again, thanks for all the tips. Thanks for all the new subscribers today. It was appreciated. Ben gave me $10 to have a beer. Maybe after the second stream, I can do that. And thanks for joining and hanging out. I will see you, a lot of you, on the next stream here in about an hour. So, see you later, guys.